In his new autobiography, Reboots, Michael Owen sets the record straight, writing about his spat with Alan Shearer, the effect football has had on his personal life, and his telling off from the Queen. Well, do you want to start with that, Michael Owen? You got in a lift with Her Majesty.
Yes.
I didn't think that would have been royal protocol at all. Were you supposed to?
Well, I thought I did the right thing. It was such an honour. I got asked to go in the carriages at Royal Ascot, and we were in the third carriage, me and my wife. Yeah, it was an amazing day. Had lunch at Windsor Castle, and then up the carriages and everything else. It was all going perfectly. And protocol, we were all told before the day, you know, this is what happens when Her Majesty talks to you, you take your hat off, etc., etc.
Right.
So as soon as we pull into the parade ring, Her Majesty was walking around, looking at the horses, and then decided, right, it's time to go. We all have to sweep round. And there was only a dozen guests. So I was near the front, and as she called us all over to get in the lift, I sort of walked over, and she shouted more, come on, we can all fit in this lift.
I love the idea of the Queen. Come on, we can all squeeze in.
That's exactly what she said. So I obviously got close, took my hat off, and then walked into the lift, and she said, come on, we can all squeeze in. So I squeezed up to her with my hat here, and she literally, closer than me and you are here, and she looked at me and said, if you put your hat back on, we might have enough room for all of us to squeeze in. So I put it back on. My wife is here, she's nudging me, saying, you've just been shouted at by the Queen.
Kicked off by the Queen.
Yeah. And still to this day, I'm not sure whether whether it definitely was a shouting at me. It felt like it at the time.
No, she has a stern way of making her feelings very clear. So last night, I had this show with Cristiano Ronaldo, and you actually took over the number 7 shirt at Manchester United, which he had obviously made godlike, and just to be fair, you took the god out of it. But you went through a period after the '98 World Cup where you were an absolute superstar, this young, superstar all around the country. Can't take his kids to the park. You know, he's in Turin now, huge star at Juventus. He can't really go out. Everywhere I went around him, it's some mayhem. You must recognise a lot of what he's saying there from your experience. Yeah,
I mean, for a short period of time in particular, and then, of course, your star wanes, and you still get recognised when you go out. So some people in my position now would still feel a little bit uncomfortable going to restaurants, taking their kids to the park. But it's a fraction of what it's like for him. For him, Messi, David Beckham, people like that, there's a select few where life is just not normal. It just changes, and you really think that they've got everything, but really they've got nothing. You know, they've got very little in terms of...
Where do you sit on the Ronaldo-Messi debate? I'm a Ronaldo guy. I actually think Ronaldo, certainly in the last 5 years, where he's won 2 golden boots to Messi's none in the last 5, that actually, I think he's now edged it for me. I think he is the greatest to ever play the game. What do you think?
Well, I think Messi was born a better footballer. I think he's got more genius, natural qualities. But I think Ronaldo... If I was a manager, put it this way, if I was a manager in a Premier League team and I got offered which one, I'd take Ronaldo.
So isn't that interesting? And why?
Well, he's proven in different leagues. He's done it international level. I mean, he's everything. He's answered every question. I mean, and with all due respect, Messi has only played for Barcelona. He's not proven any differently. He's... At international level, probably not lived up, and he's probably in a better team at international level, whereas Ronaldo's single-handed...
Ronaldo told me that the difference for him, he felt, between him and other players was mental, more than anything else, mental strength.
I burst onto the scene as a 17-year-old. I won the Golden Boot in the Premier League at 17, went to the World Cup, as we know, won the Golden Boot again at 18. So all of a sudden, I was this young kid in the public eye. Everything got took care of, your agent all of a sudden takes over, right? Everything off the pitch. Let me concentrate on football. The picture he painted for me, the image he painted, was probably a bit whiter than white, bit dull, bit boring. He had to create an image.
But tell us about the Shearer thing, because this all came about because you went to Newcastle, he was brought in to be the manager, he was obviously the Newcastle hero, and Newcastle got relegated. And it seems to have been a bit of a sort of blame game on both sides, where he probably didn't want to be blamed for taking the team down. He tried to infer that you didn't want to play for Newcastle at the end and weren't giving 100%. Is that really the catalyst for this?
That's his side, yeah. I mean, I had a groin injury a week or so before the final game. We needed to get a result away at Aston Villa. And normally, I felt I would probably about 5, 6, 7 days away from being fit. And I tried the day before to sprint. I was with the physio, and I was getting to about 70%. I thought, if I push any further than this, it's going to re-tear, it's going to go again. So I said to Alan, I said, listen, last game of the season, I'll play, but I fear that I'll be coming off after 5 minutes. As soon as I explode into action, it'll probably break down, because I've felt that before, and it's happened dozens of times. So I said, what I would do if I were you, you're the manager, what I would do is I'd put me on the bench. If we're desperate for a goal, throw me on. I'll just try to loiter around the goal, and I'll try to nick one. And that's exactly what happened. But I did, unbeknown to me, he felt that was...
A betrayal of sorts.
Yeah, like that I'm not going to put my body on the line.
And you haven't talked to him since?
No.
How
what about since the book came out?
How can you fall out for so long?
You've hit back at him.
I know.
Has he not made any attempt to contact you in the last couple of weeks since this all came out?
No, nothing. And nothing either way. I mean, I don't expect him to.
Do you want to make up with him?
Well, I've got no problems with Alan Shearer at all. I mean...
But he has with you?
Well, he thinks that I didn't put it in for him, let's say, in the final game. So the issue is with him he's disappointed in me, I guess. But... And we were big mates. Yeah. We used to play golf all the time. I stayed in his house. Really, it is. And I'm disappointed at it myself because... And I didn't even know until a year or so after I left Newcastle. Mutual friend said to me when I said, I need to give him a call, he said, don't bother, he's not your mate.
Won't
type of thing. I was like, oh, right.
Amazing. Well, it's a cracking read. Reboot. Michael Owen, My Life, My Time. You were a brilliant player. I've got to admit it. I don't want to admit it. But you were a brilliant player. Would have loved to have had you at Arsenal. Ronaldo taunted me last night by saying he nearly joined Arsenal. The team Arsene Wenger could have had if they'd all joined, we would have won everything.
If only you were manager.
But what I like about it, Michael, is it's honest. It's an honest read. It's what you really think. Some great opinions in there. And I would encourage people to read it. I think footballers get a bad rap. This is the kind of book that gets you a better rap. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.